Hey YouTube, hey subscribers, thanks for tuning in. This is a highly requested video that I have put off for a very long time, but after everything I've witnessed recently and with everything that's going on in the world, I think it's time for me to go ahead and do this video. Now, I have touched on this subject before, but I literally did a touch and go, so I kind of used the title to introduce it, and then I kind of took a different direction because I won't or wouldn't address this head on, but I'm ready to address it head on. Part of the reason that I put this video off for so long is I don't want people to turn away from the channel because they think that the channel is religious. I don't want people to not get this information because they don't believe in religion. And so that's why I haven't done it for so long. That's really the main reason that I haven't done it. So if you are an atheist or someone who's non-believing in any type of higher power, I would still offer to you to just kind of suspend that temporarily and just kind of hear me out for a second, and then you can go right back to where you were, but just kind of entertain the theory. And I also want to put this out there. This is all just a theory for me. It might seem a little bit far out there once I get started up, but it's just a theory and something that you don't have to accept. But I hope you'll give it an opportunity and listen to the video all the way through. So let's jump right into it. Today's video is going to be all about narcissist demonic possession. The Bible says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Ephesians 6 and 12, King James Version Bible. So I've said many times on this channel that I believe narcissists are automatons. I believe that there's been an invasion of the body snatchers. I've said that I believe they're the Walking Dead. I don't think I've ever called them zombies, but they're essentially zombies. And I think I've used a few other ways to kind of describe a human person who's fully aware, fully alert, fully functional in the sense that they can go to work, they know how to pay bills, they know how to do very complex things, solve very complex problems. They maintain social circles. So for all intents and purposes, and from all outside accounts, they seem very, very normal. They seem like your normal functioning human being. There's certain things that they do that tell you that you are not dealing with a normal person. You're not wrestling against biology. You're wrestling against something else entirely. So let's get into this a little bit. Let's dive deep. So this is just my opinion. This is not rooted in the DSM-V. This is purely my opinion and based on things that I've observed. The difference between narcissists and psychopaths, in my opinion, is intelligence. Psychopaths actually know how to use their own intelligence. They use their brain towards evil, and they're able to create and craft and plot and plan out elaborate schemes that work and work for a long time. So the difference to me between psychopaths and narcissists is intelligence, because I often refer to narcissists as evil idiots, and they are. And they think they're so smart too. They're also extremely arrogant, narcissists are. And it's amazing how they can't see their own ignorance, but it's because they're not using their own mind. Something else is. So that something else is like a secondary intelligence that helps them with those things like getting up, going to work, feeding yourself, paying your bills, pretending and appearing to be a normal human being. There's something helping them, because if these people were really relying on their own thought processes, there's no way they'd still be alive today. They would have accidentally killed themselves by now. Seriously. They would have done something to bring about their own demise by mistake, because they just don't think. They're not very good at critical thinking. So something else is guiding them, and that something else, in my opinion, is a demonic possession. So that's going to seem extreme to a lot of people listening, like, okay, come on now. Now we're talking about people are possessed with demons. Well, I told you this was a theory, and my theory is, these particular individuals are possessed of demons. It might just be one demon. It could be a legion of demons. But at any rate, there's at least one representative in there. On a recent thread where I had an opportunity to interact with some of these demons, I asked one of them, I said, "I'm curious if your demon has a name. Let me know, because I'd be happy to help call him out of you." And his reply was Lucifer, and he put a smiley face after it. Now, he's a troll, and I know that he was trying to be snarky, but was he? Perhaps, maybe he was just telling me the truth. Perhaps maybe he was just stating the facts and not being a troll and just telling me exactly what's going on there. And I've noticed he's kind of vanished after that, and I didn't block him, so I don't know where he went. But they know, like, whoever the they is knows who they are and knows what they do to people. And here's how you can kind of see that happen from time to time. Every now and then when narcissists bare their soul, whatever little bit of soul is left in there, whatever little bit of humanity is left in there, you will hear them say things like, I don't know why I do the things I do. I don't know why I do what I do. I did a video a long time ago, and I cannot remember the name of it. I think it's one of my examples are everywhere videos, where I was on an app called Whisper, and someone basically said that they have two personalities and that they don't know why they have two personalities and that other personality is harmful, but they don't know how to change it. Like, they basically confessed to this other entity living inside of them. So it's almost like the human is still present, but they cannot escape the grip and the stranglehold of this particular demonic presence. Also, the similarities between these people is shocking. If you spend any time in my comment sections, you will see the same story repeated over and over and over again by different people, men and women, older, middle-aged, and younger, all having the exact same experience. I'm sitting here telling you what I've observed, what I've come to conclusions. I put it out there, and then you guys completely validate everything I'm saying. How could I possibly know what you're going through if there wasn't such a common thread, so common that it is predictable? And that's one of the whole reasons I do this channel. I'm trying to make these people predictable to you. That's the other weird thing about it. They're so predictable that it probably even surprises them that nobody picks up on their behavior. But the common thread between them is so similar that it tells me that they're all bound by the same thing. They're all joined together by the same spirit, the same energy, the same force has bound them together and causes them to act in the exact same ways over and over again every single time. So a viewer was looking at one of my videos the other day, and she left some really great questions. So I'm actually going to go through these questions one by one to kind of talk through this a little bit more. So thank you to that viewer. And here is the video as promised. The first question: how do you cast out a demon or demons from someone that wants to keep them? For the life of me, I can't find the Bible verse, so if any of you know it, please put it in the comment section. But it basically says that our duty and our job is to cast demons out of people, but we stopped doing that. We got away from that. Why? Because it's 2017. We have iPads, we have iPhones, we have the internet. We are technologically advanced, so we're not casting out demons anymore. We're sending people to therapy and we're praying for them and we're doing everything but what we're supposed to do, which is cast them out. We're supposed to cast them out and call them out. So if you're not comfortable casting out the demon, what you can do at minimum is call its name, call it out. You know, if you're in the midst of interacting with one of these people and you see that possession taking over them, say, hello, demon. Hi, demon. What's going on? What's new? What's new in hell? And I promise you, you might witness an exorcism in real life. So I actually don't really recommend this, guys. I don't. And that's the other part. Probably of the reason that we don't do it anymore is because you're going to exorcise demons, and it's going to happen in 2017 right in front of your face, and you're not going to know what to do, and you're going to be afraid and scared. So you may want to tread lightly with that one. If you're going to call out demons and cast out demons, do it in a forum like a comment board, or, you know what I mean, like an internet thread, somewhere where you can put a healthy distance between you and this person, because I can't tell you what happens after you cast them out. That part I don't know. I have no knowledge of that, so I would not pretend to know what happens after. I don't know where you're supposed to send them, so I'd have to do more research on that. But at the very minimum, you can call its name, because the thing that it hates the most is exposure. So the video that I was referencing earlier was called Narcissism, the Hidden Demon. It was one of my very first videos. And basically what I was talking about in that video was how narcissism is so prevalent, and it exists because nobody believes that it exists. But I didn't attack or touch on the demonic part that much in that particular video, so we're touching on it today. Next question is, will a narc ever realize they are possessed? I think the answer to this question is they already know they're possessed. They know it. They're very well aware of it. In their statements like, I don't know why I do what I do, or even in their statements of, I'm fully aware of what I do. I know. Like they're very, very aware of their actions. Some of you have told me that in the comment sections, that they'll just tell you flat out what they do. So I think they already know something is deeply, deeply and severely wrong with them. I don't think they know how to fix it, is the big thing. But I also don't think they want to, because the demonic hold on them wants to stay. It wants to live there. It wants to continue to reside there. And because it's overriding this person, it doesn't want to leave. So it's very complex, you guys. The next question is, how did the demon of narcissism get in the person in the first place? Ooh, we're going there. Okay, so I have a couple of different theories on how it got there. One, and of course the most obvious, would be that they were born with it, but I don't believe that a lot of them are necessarily possessed from birth. But I know that there are some children who are so bad from the minute that they're able to really get mobile that it certainly seems like they're possessed from birth. But then there are other children who were relatively normal children who grow up to be raging narcissists. So I don't know. I don't know if everyone has the seeds of narcissism and they need to be watered, or if they are really installed. And speaking of installed, that might be answer number 2. It's not so much that narcissism got in them as they never got their empathy chip installed. So we're all supposed to come equipped with something that's supposed to balance against this type of behavior. And when that's not present, narcissism takes over. So it's almost like the regulator, the balancer that's supposed to be there is not there. I've referred to that as their empathy chip many times in other videos. Third theory, one of my subscribers did a really good comment on nutritional deficiencies and how they lead to, and it's escaping me right at this very moment, how they lead to, I want to say these types of behaviors, but I think I'm butchering it. But basically the short answer is nutritional deficiencies, severe nutritional deficiencies, which are leading to the gross malfunction of their minds. But for me, it still just doesn't do enough to explain the wickedness, because we know people who have malfunctioning minds. Some of you know individuals who were born with disabilities, real disabilities, and they don't possess that wickedness. They just possess the disability, but they don't possess the wickedness that goes with it. So that's what tells me there's something else there. There's something else present on top of the malfunctioning mind. Fourth theory, and you guys are going to have to roll with me on this one. I believe that narcissists become possessed. Okay, so they're not born with it necessarily, but they're open to possession because in many ways, they're not even aware that they're alive. In my favorite book that I talk about all the time, Patricia Evans in Controlling People says that controllers stand beside themselves. So, and the way she puts it is, when people are traumatized, think about, if a traumatized person, how do we describe them often? We say he or she is beside themselves, meaning they have completely come up out of their body. Their human form is still there, but they, the person, are long gone or are standing right next to them. Hence why we say he or she is beside himself with grief. Patricia in her book says that controllers are beside themselves at all times. And I forgot what reason she gave, so I don't want to butcher it. But she basically said that they're always beside themselves with no trauma present to trigger it. So if that's the case, I think people who become possessed of narcissism somehow never joined up with themselves. Somehow they never united and came back into themselves, or they were born detached from themselves. So they've never been present, ever. In their lack of presence, they are open to demonic possession because they don't even notice that someone else has moved into the house, put up artwork, and rearranged the furniture. They don't even notice because they haven't been in that house for years, or they never lived in the house to begin with. They just happen to be the landlord. So when these demons are roaming the earth, seeking whom they may devour, really what they're looking for is an abandoned house or a house that's actually well kept with the front door unlocked, and they just walk right in and move on in. I also believe there's one more way that demons get on people, and it's this. I think there are a lot of people who are actually spiritually neutral, meaning they don't possess the Spirit of God, but they also don't possess a demonic spirit either. You, however, more than likely have the Spirit of God on you, And when you come around, you trigger demonic possession in people. Something about you triggers the demons to enter whoever's nearby to start messing with you. And you've probably seen this happen on the job. You go on the interview. They loved you on the interview. They hire you. They loved you in the first couple of days and weeks. And then something just goes wrong. It's like something comes over these people and they turn on you and you cannot figure out what you did wrong. You comb through everything that you've done. You look at your performance reviews. You look at the feedback you've received from others, and you cannot figure out for the life of you what has come over these same people who loved you so much, which was the whole reason that they hired you. They're possessed. Demons have come on them. They don't possess any strong spiritual boundary. And as a result, the demons are like, oh, there's one. And they go and occupy all of the people around you who don't have some type of spiritual fence or boundary up. Again, just a theory, but that's what I think is happening. I'm just saying. This is the final theory on how the demon of narcissism got on them. And this is kind of where it gets religious, guys. So I think, I've told you guys before that I have great faith and I just don't talk about it much because I don't want to turn people off to the channel. But I think that having that faith and having made the decision to follow the Lord and follow what's right and follow what's good in life protects me from this type of stuff. I think when you make that decision in your life and you say, God, I'm yours, use me how you will, I feel like it puts up an automatic protection. It's like, this one is mine. You can't touch this one. You cannot come near this one. This one is mine. And it doesn't mean the demons won't try. I mean, good grief, they have tried to take me out of here, man. Like, when I think about what I've been through on the job, like going in with the best intentions and having it just massively fail, the different relationships that I've had that have tried to take me out of here. So it's not like they don't try. It's just that God won't let them destroy you. It's just really that simple. So again, I know we're going on a religious pathway. Sorry. I know everyone has different beliefs and you believe what works for you. This is what's working for me. It's been proving itself in my life over and over and over again. So I personally can't deny it. It's just not something I'm going to weave into every video, but I do have faith in God. And I think that faith is what protects me. And I even think he allowed me to go through all of these experiences with these sick individuals because he knew that it would bother me so badly that I would have to talk about it one day. I would have to get it off of my chest one day. And this is the avenue and the route that I chose to get it off of my chest, and look what happened. So, I can't deny his presence or his power. It's just something I can't do. The final question she asked me was, is this a generational sin or curse? Girl, y'all are going deep on me. Okay, so yes and yes. This is something that we've actually been battling since the beginning of time. It's actually not new. What has happened is, and I don't want to scare you guys, but I really do believe that we are reaching and wrapping up towards the end of this here thing. I think God enabled the internet. I think he allowed the internet. I think he breathed on the internet, and I think he blessed the internet because he knew that the internet would expose something that we otherwise would not be able to see. Think about it. Think about the different things we've been able to witness from all over the world that we weren't able to see before. So narcissism was able to thrive and thrive abundantly because people could only really talk to each other in their own little communities in the past. But now, there are people watching and listening to this channel from all over the world and sharing their experiences and sharing their stories on this channel. So I believe that was part of the plan because, and I keep losing my scriptures somewhere. I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I do believe it says in the Bible that in the last days, all this stuff is going to ramp up, all of it. Because if you knew your days were numbered and you knew that you weren't going to be forgiven and you knew that you were going to be cast into the fiery pits of hell, you're going to do whatever you want to do. You're going to have fun. You're going to go crazy. You're going to do what the kids call turn up. You're going to turn up because you know that you're not going to make it into the gates of heaven. So you're going to do all the wickedness that you want to do because you know your time is almost up. God despises these demons. He does not like these demons. Now, what I can't say with certainty is, does he despise the person that the demon is occupying as well? That I don't know. That's a question I kind of roll around in my mind, because if the person is possessed and they don't know that they're possessed, then how can they be punished for the things that they do when technically they weren't in control of it at all, ever? So I honestly don't know, and I can't answer that question. What I do know is that we're not dealing with your average, ordinary, everyday psychopaths. I actually think psychopaths operate off of their own intelligence. I don't think they're possessed. I think they're just wicked people. Sort of kind of the same thing with the socios. And again, this is all my opinion, but I think that that's born out of their own mind and not out of the mind of something else. Now, don't get me wrong, they're all kissing cousins, and they're probably all going to end up in the same place, but I don't think they're motivated or inspired or driven by a demonic presence. I don't. So that's pretty much it, guys. I know this is a huge deviation from what we normally talk about, and I know you guys don't normally hear me talk about faith that much, but I think it's time for us to start having this discussion, and I hope that you've gained a lot of insight from this video. For those of you who know the Bible well or know it better than me and have some more scriptures that you can drop down below in the comment section, please do. I know this may seem super far out to some folks. Someone even wrote on one of my videos, I hate when people bring up demonic possession because then it makes it weird, and basically the whole reason I didn't want to do the video. He was saying that when you bring in weird stuff that people can't relate to and that science can't measure, basically, that you take away from the message. And I've always kind of felt that way. Like, I've always kind of felt like I really want to talk about this with them, but I don't want them to be like, okay. Looking forward to your comments, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I grant you the permission to exist. Bye-bye.